handicap
Alright guys, feeling it, back with more.
Kaser has
Sounds
coming into
great.
the house as
3.
a Muslim Arab man. I do think
Continue on.
that there was a real factor there
Yeah,
that
listen
sets him
to
apart from
the
everybody else.
episode recap for
However, he
BB.
also played bad too. So it's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? So but there is an aspect. Go ahead, Sharifa.
No, what I will say is, and I'm not disagreeing, and it's heartbreaking to play. We don't get that many Muslim Arab people to play Big Brother who actually get that opportunity. So it's heartbreaking seeing Kaser not make the moves that he needs to make. But what I will say is, if I'm Cody, maybe not Cody, but if I'm Tyler or Enzo, and I recognize that Kaser's closest ally is gone, he is more or less a free agent. Yes, I know he has a couple relationships here and there, but nothing's really strong. No one's really going to back
is, like 10 or 11
This is an opportunity to scoop up an ally that you can get to do the dirty work for you. You know that you're gonna need to come after these girls at some
Yeah,
point
it's
that you're alive
11
with.
o'clock.
Kaser might be the person
So
who
today
can
was
afford you.
interesting.
You
I
might
did
be
play
the
some
favor
well,
if you keep
essentially,
going.
I thought it was going to be
I
busy
don't
all
think there was a
morning
missed opportunity.
with errands. It turns out I was able to get done around noon. After that, I was able to record some Yakuza 0 for a couple hours. I then prepped both my Fallen Angel ranking for Survivor and my BB Canada runner-up ranking. So I was able to get both those done. And also watched Survivor Michigan and watched Big Brother. Version doesn't even watch the Birds of Prey. So, decent amount today.
Kaser again, and then after that conversation, he heard his name back again. And Kaser does kind of have a habit of leaking information here and there. He was telling Ian the other day that, Bay and Day are going after Tyler and Cody. Don't tell anyone. That would be really bad for them.
Yeah, so, tomorrow, I do work. I do work a bit earlier than what I have been recently. I mean, not super early, it's like 2 o'clock, but essentially, because I'm recording a bit earlier, or because I'm going to work a bit earlier, I'm not super confident in recording any Yakuza. Because the problem with Yakuza is that there are points where there's like a long period between save points, and there's no auto-save in Yakuza. So because of that, I could get stuck in a section where like, I can't save, and I don't like the idea of that. So I think tomorrow morning, if I do have time to record, I'll probably actually end up recording some of these instead.
I think if anybody could take that risk and potentially better their game, it's Tyler. Because now, are we allowed to talk about what's happening now, or just the episode?
No, let's wait until, let's talk about the episode first.
Never mind.
Why don't we talk about Kaser in regards to, we saw the conversation that he had with Bailey, and I know this was something that got a lot of talk during the week in terms of when it played out on the live feeds. I would just love to know, was this a fair depiction of what they were talking about in this conversation? Because I know we also got to hear Bailey's diary room as well about her thoughts on working with Kaser.
Yeah, I think it was a fair depiction. What I didn't love about it is that like Bailey has been very happy and pleasant to everyone all season long, and this is maybe the second time all season that she's gotten short with someone, and we get a whole segment on it. Meanwhile, we've got Danny and Nicole and people trash talking people left and right and being mean left and right, and we don't see a thing of it. That's the only thing where I'm like, I don't love that.
I completely agree, Taryn. There's a lot of conversation that happened because of this conversation, and I was sort of in a unique position that I am both an Arab Muslim person and I am also a woman of color, and I understood the points that both of them were making, and I understood where Bailey was coming from. I really did, and yes, she was a little short with Kaser, but she was really trying to stand in herself and not feel disrespected in the way that she did, and her feelings were valid. And with go ahead.
No, go ahead. I thought you were done.
Well, what's upsetting about the edit is it just sort of felt like they were waiting to give Bailey her edit of Bailey's gonna blow up. Oh, Bailey's aggressive. Oh, Bailey's angry. And this is sort of where we have to talk about, Big Brother on a larger scale and how we can influence people think. And it was really unfortunate that the one time a woman of color got she was a little snippy with him, that they showed it, and to Taryn's point, they're not showing all the mean stuff that Danny is saying, that Nicole is saying, that even Enzo and Cody are saying about the women. It was just frustrating to watch that clip and know how it's going to be interpreted by the casuals.
Yeah, totally. And the thing too is that honestly, like from my point of view, Bay had a reason to get a little snippy with him. Like Kaiser, like I love the guy, but he can be condescending and he can be a little like overconfident in terms of his reads sometimes. And like he's talking to people. Yes, we know that Bailey doesn't have all the information. We know secretly that a few of the
It is funny how
alliances that
fucked
she's in
the
are
animation,
fake.
or the
People were even in it,
textures are.
or them as being real.
The facial animations and stuff.
And so, like, from her point
Oh,
of view,
fuck off.
she thinks she knows way more than Kaiser does about the house. How dare he tell me
Fuck off.
prickish in terms of how he described her, like, having a blindfold over her house, or over her eyes in the house, and I don't think she really appreciated that. So if I was her, I'd be a little bit short with him, too. I just didn't love the fact that they showed it.
The thing that was unclear for me is that I wasn't sure if Bailey was saying in the diary room, like, you think I don't know what's going on in the house, or that does she have a incorrect read on what's going on? Yeah, that's the second special one.
Yeah, she's incorrect. Yes. Yeah. Especially in that moment, because especially in that moment, she was really in trouble.
Really incorrect, yeah. She was saying that, like, she and Devon were targets numero uno, like,
Day was a target. Bay wasn't necessarily. Day was a target. Bay wasn't necessarily.
Well, Bay was a target for, like, Christmas and Nicole
dating,
yeah.
But she had those guys who were gonna protect her.
She had, I always said, yes, I always said if Day went up on the block, that Day would go home. But, you know, like, if the veto goes the wrong way, we don't know what happens.
But yeah, she absolutely had an incorrect read. But like, she was trusting in her alliance. Like she was trying. She believed these people. Gotta give her, a little credit for that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think the part that was also interesting about that was where she seemed to be annoyed that, hey, I'm Janelle's friend. I'm not your friend.
We have questions for
No,
your
we're
elders.
not tight. We're not close.
Only tell us
I'm
where
friends
your
with
village
Janelle.
is, boy, and you can go.
I thought that was interesting. That there's just like there's no bond between them. Where maybe Kaiser assumes one. I'm
I
like, hey,
could
we both like
snap your
Janelle.
neck, you know.
Let's work together.
A little more pressure,
Kaiser's in
and
the friend
pop.
group, and then
The sad little flame of your life
middle person that he didn't even
extinguished.
realize was the middle person leaves,
You
and he
are
thinks that
nothing.
he's still
A
tight
speck
with
of
the friend
dust.
group, but they're like,
You
no, we
and
only
all
like
your
Janelle.
ills.
Right.
Living
Yeah, I
in
think
the
Chad
dirt
died
like
when
animals,
Janelle
oblivious to the true ways of the world.
Right? I
The
think he
wiser among you recognize the shape of the
dynamics
future.
of that because,
They
like, he,
throw
in my
themselves
eyes,
at our
sees
feet
who
and
Bailey is,
beg
like, a piece on
mercy.
the board. Like, he loves chess, he likes to move her around. Like,
But
you
not
don't
you,
understand
see.
the position that you're in
No.
the game, Bailey. But
You
Bailey's
Yeah, what a
cling
dick he is
desperately
for, like,
to your
choking a
ways.
little kid.
Too ignorant to
Well,
know your folly.
between the two of
Whatever.
them. Yeah.
I do
But
think
I am
it's
not
a missed
unkind.
opportunity for Bailey, like even taking in regards her viewpoint of the game, Kaiser
And
is still
so I
potentially
spare
a number for her.
that you may
as
carry word to
Kaiser
your
views
people.
her as a number for him. Janelle
Let
even
them
said
know the sooner
that
we are
she
given
worked
what we
together.
seek,
So I do
the
kind of
sooner
wish
you
that
can return
maybe-
to your
I understand the
pathetic,
position that she's
empty
in, that if
lives.
she fought with her alliance to protect him,
A
that
fair
would
trade,
potentially
is it
make her a
not?
target. But she has to see that she's continuously losing people that would be numbers for her, and yeah.
Charles
It's the
Lee.
fact that she doesn't want to see that.
Why do
like,
you?
we've talked
So
about
I
this
can
before on other
find you.
shows, like where you don't want to see the fact that you're in trouble. I do think there's an
I
element
look
of that
forward
previously
to
in
it.
the week with Bailey.
But I can also see it from Bailey's position of, at that point, Kaiser is already on the block. It's already unless he wins the veto, he's going home. So he's not a number anymore. He's gone.
Rob,
he's a ghost.
listen, I agree with you. When you talked about like trying to carry his rotting corpse around, that's definitely how I viewed it. Because like you could get rid of like somebody like Ian, Tyler could do that and quote unquote scoop up Kaiser, but like to do that would be a direct attack against the people that he knows that Kaiser is going after. Like he knows Kaiser might be going after like like Nicole or Cody or something. Those people would be beyond themselves if Tyler actually. So he might as well like blow up the alliance himself. There's no way he can do that.
And it's probably a better game move for Bailey to win the veto and not use it and show loyalty to the group than to win the power of veto and take Kaiser down. I was like, okay, all right, now
never
Bay,
taking
only
Kaiser
gonna be
down.
number one.
There was no way she was gonna. If she won that veto, there was no way she was gonna use it. Obviously, Devon could go up as a replacement. There was no way that was happening.
So, not a great proposition from Kaiser to Bailey. Okay, all right. We got to the veto competition. Actually, before that, just let me quickly talk about Enzo, Tyler, Cody. They talk about how Kevin picked David. There seems to be more frustration with David. Taryn, how big of a deal was this?
That Kevin picks David.
Yes.
I mean, it wasn't. It was mostly a big deal with Day, that she, because of the whole situation where David told Day about Tyler and Cody, and she believed Tyler and Cody and thought that David was really trying to screw her over there. And so she's very close with Kevin. They have a final two, and so when she picked David, or sorry, when he picks David, she was very upset about it. Like, why did you pick me? Why did you pick David of all people? And they're still kind of reeling from that.
Yeah, well, but it should be obvious. She should understand. Like, obviously, Kevin's not gonna pick Dave for DeVito because if she went to DeVito, then they could go up on the block. Like, come on, like, there's no way he had to pick David. That was his only option. He got out his choice. There's really one option for him to pick in the house. Maybe if he made a deal with Ian. But, like, I think it was a good call.
I was just like, that he got down to the end with David, and David was like, hey, I gotta win this because I gotta win the respect of the house. But, like, David wasn't like, hey, like, let me win this, I got you. Like, I'm not so sure, dude, like, again, like what the guys were saying, like, David is such a wild card. Who knows?
David had to make a commitment to Kevin that he would definitely take him down.
No, not that I saw.
That's the problem.
It was news to me when he said in the diary room that and even then he only said he's playing for Kevin, not that he was going to take Kevin down. But I think it's a good move for him to try and win this veto, so that he cannot use it. So
Like, yeah, it's the same thing like with Bailey.
right, yeah, because I mean, he has the right idea here that he did screw himself over by leaking information. Nobody trusts him anymore, and the next best thing to do is to prove himself by winning competitions and proving himself to be reliable. So, I actually like that he was trying to win.
Also, no team, but I would have really liked for him to win DeVito and use DeVito because that's a big moment when people do that, especially if you don't necessarily have the HOH's blessing. And David is no one in this game right now, Taryn. At least if he did that, like, he would have an opportunity to step up in the game straight by CU signing.
I don't think that he has the strategic competency to
Really?
realize that. Like, I think that David is sort of hiding in the house. And you know what? I know he's getting a lot of hate. A lot of people are saying he's there. I love that he's there. I think it's so funny to watch someone who is a rookie play with these people who have performed really well in previous games and proven themselves as an all-star. And we were hoping that David would come and prove that he was an all-star. It hasn't gone in that direction, but it's really funny to watch him like try to get a grasp on the game, and I just don't trust that if he won the veto, he would know how to use it.
Let me ask you this. Is there any universe currently that you think that 7 weeks from now, David could win the game?
I do. I don't get anything in the impossible. There's a couple people I'm like, no. Like, you can, David has an underdog story this season. And if the right things happen, and the right people go after each other, I certainly think there's a way that David can win. But I think that David would be in the context of, Enzo screwed us all over so bad, and then brought David to the end. We voted for David. Maybe a Josh where, right. Yeah, I think that that's the $500,000. Hey, look, it's that back. But if you took David and you trapped, somebody really He's not as dumb as his gameplay implies. I really think he is like.
I mean, the man has 187 IQ, from what I understand. Yeah.
Like I think his biggest problem is that he doesn't know how to communicate very well. He's not good at like reading. Like he talks a lot about emotional intelligence. I think that's probably where he has a lot of lack in terms of ability. While his IQ is so high, exactly. Extremely high IQ, very very low EQ. I think.
Like Sheldon Cooper.
Yes, but he's under the misconception that he has a high EQ. That's the problem.
How's your credit, Brad? How's your credit doing?
It's getting better, I think. That's what David tells me.
I mean, the thing with the David win, I want to be clear because I'm seeing some of the comments. I don't think that we're going to get a David win. I'm just not knocking it out of contention. To agree with Taryn's points.
More likely than a Kaser win.
It's more likely than a Kaser win, and he is really smart. His issue is that he doesn't have the social app that he needs in the house, so therefore he cannot collect the right information to make the right moves.
Yeah. Okay.
this veto competition, I thought was a pretty exciting competition to have play out. Was I alone in that? No, I like the Go ahead, Terry.
I don't
care at all about like but I actually think it added to this one a little bit that they literally like couldn't even see, and they're like doing these like weird poses. I thought it kind of works.
Yeah, I mean, like, no offense, but like Kaser has a total dad bod.
Okay,
there was no way he was doing this shit. Like, come on, like, no, this was not his veto. He needed like the carnival veto, count the things and like stay or fold, or no, this was not the right one.
My only complaint with this POV is I wish it was the HOH. I thought this would have been such a good HOH, especially for this upcoming week.
Oh, okay.
To do an endurance challenge with
That go the wrong way.
People really want it and know that they need it. Like, I don't think it was a missed opportunity.
Super 21, was it an HOH or a veto?
Okay.
It was an HOH. Yeah. Okay. Interesting that they're,
Is there a restart checkpoint in this game?
So that's at least one way.
Okay, there is.
To, keep people on their toes, where it's not like these competitions are specifically HOH.
So at that point, someone allowed to do that.
I mean, if I'm being honest, like, having an endurance for veto kind of makes more sense, because someone is fighting for their life in the competition, which makes the stakes a little higher, and we're probably not going to get a scenario where, like, that person's just going to drop because they made a deal or something. So, I think it's actually, it works to have endurance for veto. It would be fun to have it upbeats.
And I have to say, it was really, really heartwarming to watch Kevin win that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everything was so happy.
So to watch Kevin do that, it was really, really, really sweet.
I must have went
there
the
was a
wrong way.
couple of really great moments in the competition.
Where am I going?
When Bailey
It's so sad. I've played this game like 15 fucking times. I should fucking know where to get away this one.
Fingertips, and ultimately she falls. There's the point where Kevin loses his footing, and then he is like trying, and he finally does get it back. And so that was a great showdown.
Oh, it's up here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, great stuff with Kevin and with David. Taran, I do feel like though for David.
I forgot if I mentioned this or not, but I did finally pre-order AC Valhalla.
David really needed to prevent himself.
Because at this point I'm pretty committed to playing Valhalla when it comes out. So I decided, fuck it, let's just pre-order it. Pre-order the standard edition on PS4. I did it from Best Buy because I had some credit from Best Buy as well. So got $10 off that. Plus also I got another $10 certificate from buying it as well. So it's like, why the fuck not?
I'll use the veto on you. I'll take you down. Drop right now. All he had to do was get him to do that, and they are both safe for the week. And also, we would have elevated him.
Use it though.
Well, then he's playing scared. That's what. But everybody's been playing scared this year. So what's?
For the record, I think that's absolutely the right move. If David uses that veto, then nobody is ever going to trust him ever again, other than Kevin, and that's not super useful right now.
I think you know what? He's like I said, he's nobody in this game right now. He might as well make a name for himself. But maybe he doesn't see himself that way. I think he does see himself that way. Like I heard him talking today. I heard him talking to Tyler. He knows he's no win in the game right now. So why not do something about it? That's why you do that. Use the veto. I don't think he's apt enough to realize that that's something to agree to both points. I see both sides of it. I do think there's value in making this move, walking in Kevin, securing himself, and kind of saying, hey, I'm not a chauffeur. I do have some capital in this game. And I think I don't take orders from you. But also to Terran's point, like if he does that, he's pissing off the clear majority, and he ups himself up on the target level. But I also don't know if I trust David enough to like wade through both of those things. I don't know what it is right now.
After we have the veto competition, Enzo needs to go back to work. That he's not happy about this.
I don't know of any phrase that has the word monkey in it. It's like monkey wrench. I know there's a monkey wrench, but like there's a wrench into things. That's all it does. That's where you turn into a wrench into
my monkey is the phrase.
Thank you for correcting me.
Yes, and people
Okay, this game you can't. Oh, you can run People Vision.
That's
not anymore.
From the whole days. Then we end up seeing. All right, so what are we gonna do about this replacement nominee? How are we gonna do this? We see a little bit of first we see Ian and Kaser, and they're talking it through. Was Ian worried about this, Brent? Yes. Definitely worried. Although Ian had a few talks with Enzo, we saw one of them where Enzo tried to reassure him. Like, I don't think Enzo was ever gonna put Ian up until like he actually did it. He wasn't gonna tell Ian there's a possibility you might go up here. So I think that Ian was right to sense that there might be danger, but he was really depending on Franzel, Nicole, to do some good work on his behalf and make sure that he didn't go up as a replacement nominee.
Yeah, she was telling him, you or me might go up on the block, so you need to talk to Enzo and make sure he knows that you are a vote for Kaser to go home, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, because they changed this too, didn't they? They made that a lot quicker.
Enzo actually didn't like that he did that, so.
Yeah, I don't know that it really gained him anything. It just it happened to be the Kaser, it depended on which nominee came down. That was the problem. If Kaser came down, Ian's butt was going up. If Kevin came down, a pawn needed to go up, and Ian is not a pawn. Yeah. Sharifa, let me ask you about Christmas telling Enzo that she wants to go up on the block. Was that an original Christmas idea, or did somebody put that seed in her head?
So I didn't watch this initial conversation. I saw the aftermath of the conversation where Enzo said that Christmas volunteered. I think that there was positives and negatives to this. Like, I understand where Christmas was coming from. She's building credit with Enzo. And Enzo is a very,
Glenn's making a noise if you're listening to the podcast.
I will say both points. Enzo's a very patriarchal player. And I can understand from his viewpoint that he kind of wants people to do as he says. And this does build credit with Enzo that Christmas is a loyal ally, that she's his pit bull. Where I think Christmas messed up is and it's also hard because she didn't anticipate what was going to happen, but she gave Enzo an out to prevent any sort of shakeup in the house that could actually benefit her. I think she realized that later on.
Yeah, I think I would be more receptive to the idea that this is something that was going to build credit with Enzo for her, and I just made the argument that David winning and not using the veto builds credit. But I think this is the situation where it's a step too far, because this was an original out-of-the-blue Christmas idea that nobody else talked about. Maybe if Enzo had approached Christmas and said, hey, I trust you a lot, will you do this for me? Maybe then I can see, okay, costs and benefits to agreeing or telling him no. But she came up with this idea completely on her own and put herself in this position. He already really liked her. He already was talking
How did that work?
Christmas,
I'm so confused how this works.
She's our bulldog. So I really don't think this won her anything except a seat on the block.
And she was right. I was really glad, Taryn, to hear her articulate in the diary room the knowledge that by doing this, that she could be seen as expendable by other people. That by putting herself up as a pawn the first time,
fuck off.
people might put herself up as a pawn again in the future. That was definitely something. And the reason I was giving the raspberry there when Sharifa was talking about Christmas doing this is because the fact that it was a terrible idea. Like, am I the only one who remembers
I don't think it's that terrible.
talked about Julie-chan Moonves talked about the fact that there were new rooms opening in the Big Brother house? Like, after the first room closed, the new room is going to open. These house guests don't know anything. Christmas could have been blindsided by anything by putting herself up on the box. Maybe America has a veto. We get to save someone on a big veto. Exactly. We've never seen that before. Exactly. So,
listen, I'm not saying that this was a good move. I am not saying that Christmas is a good player. But I do want to, validate that I kind of understand where she's coming from. Because we don't know where Enzo's mind is at.
From my point of view, there were a few positives and a whole lot of negatives. The negatives were massive.
And I I agree with that, but also from Chris's point of view, I don't know how much Enzo has faith in me. I know that he has a lot of relationships outside. This is an opportunity for me to lock in with him and for him to know 100% that I have his back. And I do think there are positives that come out of this. Yes, the negatives outweigh it, but I do understand here.
Let me ask you this theory. Do you think that this is in any way, like, you have a group of friends, they go out to lunches when that was a thing, somebody's got to pick up the check every week. Christmas looks at the check, oh, this is a cheap one. Okay, I got this one, guys, I got this one. All right, now, next time the check comes, she's like, well, okay, I got it last time, so I'm good.
Fuck.
Somebody else take it this time, where this was like the no-brainer of weeks to go up on the block. Could that be it?
But I think what happens is the next time they go out for lunch, everyone.
You've got that credit card, right, Christmas? Yeah.
Shit.
So,
Okay, I fucked this up.
Last time you picked up the check for us. Gonna do it
If
again.
that's Christmas, I'm like, listen, I covered y'all last week. Don't ask me for your drinks. Don't ask me for an appetizer. Y'all covering me. Like, I think she has that footing to be able to say that this time
I think she does, but now she's kind of now instead of the last memory they have of being positive, she volunteered. It's the negative. She declined the offer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
All right. So, let's get to. This was an interesting part of the episode. So we start off with, Faye is talking to Danny, and ultimately, Faye wants to, talk things through. What are we doing? Let's get together with the Slick Six. So Danny goes in. Tyler is talking to Nicole, and she reveals about the Slick Six in front of Tyler with Nicole there. Now, Brent, can you just talk us through the order of operations here? Had Danny already told Nicole about this? Because we saw this from Tyler's perspective, where he's like, I don't know what just happened, and Danny just said something, and is she doing it on purpose? And we were just left with as many questions. Yeah.
No. Danny had told Nicole Franzel about the Slick Six. She told us the fake Lions I'm in, blah, 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 blah.
Oh,
but,
fuck off.
Like, nobody knew that she had been told that. So they came up, Faye and Danny, they were feeling a little uneasy about, like, who's going to be the replacement nominee? Like, are we going to go after a quote-unquote big target, or are we going to just put up a pawn? Nobody knew that Christmas had volunteered, I don't believe, at this point. And they decided to have a meeting of the Slick Six, and they went up there to do that. And Franzel's sitting right there, and then she comes in, and you saw the aftermath of that. She, like, from my point of view, she really just made a mistake. I think she came into the room, she's so used to sharing all of her stuff with Nicole Franzel that she honestly just forgot that, this is an alliance that she's not in, that I haven't told people, that I told her that it's happening.
The mistake she made, and she said this afterward, is that she thought that Tyler knew. She thought that they had already told Tyler that Nicole knew.
Really?
Because she is so comfortable with Tyler, and she often considers him as part of the core.
Yeah, I forget that, because, like, it's definitely not reciprocated the other way around. Yeah.
So she thought that because she does this with Cody all the time. She talks to Cody in front of Nicole about the Slick Six, and so she thought she could do the same thing to Tyler. And then it was like, wait a minute, I guess Tyler didn't know that Nicole knew. Crap.
Yeah, but to add to that, though, that to me, that was just the last straw in a long line of things. Like, Tyler has been looking at Danny for a while as someone that he feels uneasy about, and the fact that this happened, I think that was, Tyler was like, you know what, that's all I need. That's all I need, because I've already been thinking that.
Yeah, this wasn't Tyler, like, having a Josh moment where he goes like, whoa, like, oh my god, Danny's playing us. Like, no, Tyler has been after Danny for weeks. And this was just a moment for Tyler to be like, oh, perfect, this is a kill shot.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
Yeah, because we saw him run this information back up to Cody and to Enzo and say how, Danny is telling about the Slick Six.
Yep. Yeah, and if you notice in that thing when Tyler was talking with Enzo, Terry is such a good read on Enzo. I caught this too. For real, if Enzo is into you and telling the truth, and he is believing what you're saying, he can't stop talking. He's like me. He got stuff to say. Like, I got stuff to say, man. No, bro. Like, for real. Like, this is crazy. I can't believe this is happening, bro. If he's not into what you're saying, or he doesn't really care, or he doesn't believe you, he'll let you talk. He'll just sit there and go, yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, like, he doesn't have any words for you. Really, like, if you look at him, like, definitely easy to read.
I remember I lost so much time here on the speedrun.
And Enzo, Tyler had been working on Enzo as well, even before this happened, the night before this happened. Tyler had already had a conversation with Enzo where they were already planning on targeting Danny the following week or two. Again, this was just something that was easy to sort of accelerate the plans and to like really get the ball rolling and force Cody into a corner where he couldn't say no.
Okay. We got to the veto ceremony, ultimately, for the first time this season. We're going to see the veto used. And Evan is going to take himself down. Enzo asks Christmas to go up onto the block. So it will be Christmas versus Kaser going into tomorrow night. I feel like maybe I'm being a little bit critical of Enzo here. I feel like it was a little heavy-handed on his part to be like, well, you gotta put up somebody against the house target, yo, and I mean, like the guy already was bad enough. Like, leave him be, man. Like, give him a little thing, you know?
They haven't really given Kaser the respect that they've given each other. It's been really frustrating to watch because no one has. No one has. He's been so pushed to the outskirts, and like any time that he tries to come in, people are mad at him for it. And they kind of just want to like him to sit down and die and like take his lashings and be happy about it. And it's so unfortunate to watch because Kaser wants to play so bad.
Brett, who's the MVP of the goodbye messages for Kaser tomorrow night?
Probably Ian. Yeah, like I think he would give the most heartfelt goodbye message. I do think that Ian ideally would like to have worked with Kaser. I don't think that Ian wants Kaser to go. Ian plans on Kaser staying once Janelle left. And also Ian had an emotional moment, I think like 2 days ago, where like he had a hug. It was just he had a hug with Kaser, and Kaser left the room, and Ian just sat down and started, you know, crying / sobbing a little bit.
Alright, I guess we'll end here. Next episode, continue on. For now. Thanks for watching.
Because he was